All right, guys, you ready? We'll call the Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 Williams County Board of County Commissioners meeting to order. Please call roll, Beth.
Barry?
Here.
Steve?
Here.
Bo?
Here.
Chris?
Here.
We have a quorum. We'll proceed. If everybody please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item C, consent agenda. What are the wishes?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'm just wondering with item number 5 in the consent agenda, about pulling that out of the consent agenda and moving to the regular agenda for roll call, just simply because of the monetary value of that decision.
Okay. Can we do that after there's been a motion and a second, Karen?
Well, I guess if you're going to have to do roll call vote on the consent agenda anyways. And so, I mean, unless you're going to have further discussion about it, I don't. But I guess if you want to pull it out, you're going to have to rule on the motion for it first. Well, yeah.
This is open for discussion though. If you want to discuss, you can surely bring up what you want.
Well, it was not for the sake of discussion, just because of the monetary value, just pulling it out. But I'm not going to I'm not going to make a mountain out of a molehill, Mr. Chairman. So.
Okay. Any other discussion? Discussion. Okay. Roll call, please.
Barry?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay. Item D. Public comment. This is the spot. If you have a comment that's not on the agenda, you are more than welcome to come up. Seeing none, we will move on to item E. He heard me. Okay, we have a public hearing for a section line closure. We will open the public hearing, and the floor is open for Bartis, if you would like to speak on this. No?
I don't believe everything that you said beside it.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak on the public hearing for the request to close the section line? It's all here. Okay.
I think, Karen, didn't you mention that they have to present the public, the benefit to the public for the closure?
Yeah, the board can't close a section line unless they find a public benefit, but it's really the responsibility of the petitioners to explain or show what that public benefit would be. And it can't be a public benefit just to them as members of the public. It's got to be a public benefit to people in general, public in general, really. Otherwise, the public benefit finding would be sort of useless because the petitioner already says what they want out of it or what advantage to them. So it's got to be something that sort of benefits sort of the public as a whole, really. So that's gonna, and I know that wasn't in their petition. They didn't discuss what that public benefit would be. So they'd probably have to explain or show something like that. So.
Okay. With that being said, do you want to add anything? If you come up, go ahead and introduce yourself so we can get it in the record.
Good morning. I'm Jeff Barta. I live at 10404 Highway 1804, Tioga. Yes, we submitted the petition for the closure of the section line. And according to the North Dakota Century Code, it does state in the last line it must be a public benefit. What the public benefit of closing the section line would be that the county would never have to build a road there. there's no way to build a road or anything there. Public benefit beside that, I wouldn't know. I researched your other closures of section lines, and I don't see any public benefits to those either. So it's basically the only thing I could sit there and lobby for is that the county would never have a cost of maintaining a road or anything in that area. That'd be the only benefit to the public.
And what you're really looking for is you want to get rid of the setback of 33 feet.
Yes, sir.
Can we not just grant him a variance for the setback?
The research I've done, Barry, no, you can't because it's a state century code, the 33 foot. I've already been allowed the 100-foot county setback because the county states 133 foot, and I've already got a variance for the 100 foot for when I put the house there. I'm trying to get rid of the 33 foot so I can move my garage closer to that section line. And I've done research, and there has been other closures where people build their houses right on the section lines. And I've got exhibits of those, so.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking there's got to be a way to get this accomplished. I'm not sure exactly how, but because I know, I mean, there's not going to be, no one's going to build a road through there. I mean, it'd be a lot of fill. I mean, it's not going to happen.
And the other resolutions you pass, there's no way a person would ever build a road there either. You know, it's that last clause in the North Dakota Century Code should actually be removed because it really doesn't make sense to have a benefit for closing a section line.
Mr. Barta, can I ask for your motivation for this proposal? Why are you bringing this before the county commission in the first place?
Is so we can close it. It's the process, excuse me, through the North Dakota Century Code. We have to bring it to the Board of County Commissioners for them to close the section line. And then once it's closed, then I can get it.
I understand that, sir, but why do you want to close the section line?
Because I'd like to build a garage right next to the section line. The section line goes right through the middle of my yard. And moving it back to 33 feet doesn't make sense. It's not a showstopper. It's just when we built the house, after I built the house, I found out I could have done the same thing and moved my house 33 foot closer to the section line if we would have closed it that. I didn't even know about this possibility of closing the section line until after we already got the variance and built the house.
Is there a way to, do you own on both sides of the section line?
Yes, I do. Well, I own it and my daughter owns the other half, yes.
Okay, is there a way to allow public passage, so to speak, or like an easement? I mean, just to move the section line? You can't do that, can you?
No, that wouldn't make sense to move the section line.
Well, actually, you bring that up because Hess had a location just north of you a ways there on the Burdick, up by where Lee Krogan's old place was.
Okay, yes.
And they put the wells right on the section line, so we made them get an easement from, I think, from Jeff for public access around the because they didn't want people going across the location.
Yes.
But there's just got to be a way to get this accomplished.
Well, I just pulled it up on Google Maps, but I mean, was there on the section line, was there ever a trail?
Nothing.
Nothing. I mean, it looks like it's contiguous pasture on both sides.
Yes.
Okay.
The section line is to the north. You can see where the section line comes down the hill toward the Dry Fork Creek.
Well, on Google Maps at 10404 North Dakota Highway 1804, Tioga, North Dakota.
Yes.
Legal, I don't know that.
It would be
154.
sections 5 and 6.
Yeah, there you can see the section line right there.
The blue line is the section line?
Yes, sir. And when I put in there for the request, it just from the edge of our property line on both sides. It's not the whole section line all the way from the edge coming down. It's 294 feet. It's basically what you have up on the screen right now. Is where our-
Karen, isn't there something on in Century Code about or that talks about there might be a section line, but if there's never been a public road, a trail, or anything, I mean, there's property all over this state that there's never been a road in.
The
though
part of the
it's a section
century
line.
code is there cannot be used for road or any access for 10 years.
There doesn't have to be a road in order for there to be a section line. Section lines are just sort of standard. I mean, there doesn't have to be a road built, doesn't have to be a trail. It's just a section line that's supposed to be open to public travel, really. And public travel could not only be just traveling by car, but ATV, walking, biking. I mean, so it's
Well,
also in this case, once you do find a public benefit, you are able to close the section line road if it hasn't been used for 10 years, if the terrain of the doesn't make it, you know, allowable for passage, or there was some other thing there too. Difficulty of terrain.
And on my petition, I stated all those areas where difficulty to train and access to other public areas.
Oh, yeah, and then the other way that you can close it is if it's not required because there's other alternate routes, really. So, but the first finding is the public benefit part, and then you can close it if, like I said, it hasn't been used for 10 years, the terrain makes it impossible for usage, and then if it's not required because there's other routes available there. So,
Google Maps shows something to the west of you for a road, like
Yep.
a quarter mile. Is that a road that kind of wiggles down?
Yes, that road there is an old oil field road. It's a private road.
Okay.
And also our driveway at one time back in the day, that was a highway 1804. It's been closed now. That's our driveway.
I don't want to split hairs, but public benefit is such an ambiguous definition.
So we were talking about closing it from your place to the north for, was it?
No,
what-
to the south.
or to the south.
Right. If he brings his pointer down the edge of that property line, that's all the farther I'm going, right about where the pin mark is, and just that line there. We own land, those 40 acres on both sides of that section line right there.
I would say it's never been used, and my crystal ball ain't any better than anyone else's, but I don't see it being used in the future either.
And like I said, I've got 3 resolutions with me where this board has closed section lines that are usable roads that people don't want people driving on because they're driveways.
Well, this is again going back to alternate forms of access. And could you grant a easement on that road to gain access? It could be, you said that's a private road, right?
Yes.
Considered your road? Or,
Yes.
Okay. I mean, is that a option? Because the road ends up, I'm assuming, meeting up with section line at some point. South. Yeah.
But what would the public access be to private property?
That's a great question, but I'm
Right.
just saying it's an alternate
Right.
access.
Exactly. Yeah, the thing is the public benefit of closing that section line.
Oh.
There is no public benefit.
Right.
Besides, I know the resolution before people said the county wouldn't have to maintain that road anymore. There's a guy's driveway, he'd probably never maintain it in the first place.
I'm concerned that we start a precedence and, kind of where does it end?
Well, my opinion is it's never ever been used. I mean, there's no trail through there. like in my area of the county, there's trails every mile, and I get that because they were used for travel at one time, but I mean, this looks like if you look to the north, whatever is that 104th Avenue is not even on the section line. It
No.
looks like it's to the west of it because of terrain, I
Yes.
surmise. Yeah.
That's 1804, and that's been changed. This rendition, I believe, is the fourth rendition of the way it went. That squiggly line in our driveway, that used to be 1804 at one time. They used to travel along that all along the river bottom. And that was closed when they built the new 1804. And there's an improved section line road on both sides of it. So that public access down to the Hoffland Wildlife Management is attainable on both sides.
I just want to make sure I'm looking in the right spot. You're talking about right there, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, those two storage containers are sitting pretty close to the line right now.
So the proper motion would be make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-03-03. Is that correct, Karen?
Yeah, I guess I would probably make a motion to close the section line and then authorize the chairman to sign the resolution, really.
Do we need to close the hearing first before a motion's made?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess my only hang up on it is the public good. And I mean, even they're saying there is no public
Right,
benefit.
but as it states that that's not the only criteria for this. I mean, right?
But it's the first
it-
criteria. It's number one.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the first criteria. You have to find a public benefit. And then once you find the public benefit, then you can close it if it hasn't been used for 10 years, if the terrain makes it unusable, or if there's access alternate routes. But the
To me,
public-
the public benefit is for their safety because 104th Avenue already does not travel on the section line because of terrain. So continuing, they'd have to come off 104th, move over, and then build on the section line in a place that doesn't appear that they ever did or ever would. So my opinion, public benefit is they didn't build it there to begin with because they weren't able to. So that's how I would view it, but I'm no lawyer.
Yeah, I guess when you talk about I don't know if you're talking about the barters because the public benefit is really supposed to be a public benefit, sort of the public that has the right to travel section lines as a whole, really. So.
Well, and when I
Mhm.
say they, I mean the public,
Okay.
because when they built a public road on 104th, they did not build on the section line.
Okay, no, I just
So,
wanted to
yeah.
clarify that. All right, thanks, Bo. Yeah.
So my apologies. They is the public.
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to address this before I close the public hearing? Second time? Okay, the public hearing is closed. Now we'll turn it over to the board. Any further discussion?
I would make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-03-03, which is the closure of this section line for the footage described and authorize the chairman to sign.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion? Roll call.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
No.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
No.
Barry,
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, moving on to planning and zoning.
Good morning, Michelle Haugen with County Planning. This morning we have LU-0109-25, which is Gravel Products Inc. on behalf of Merle Halverson. They're requesting a conditional use permit for a sand and gravel pit within the agricultural zoning district. This particular location is in the north half of Section 29, Township 159 North, Range 99 West, being Rock Island Township. They did recommend approval with the following requested conditions: that the applicant be required to employ a licensed professional land surveyor to identify and appropriately mark property boundaries and section line rights of way in the project area, and to develop a plat prior to the issuance of the CUP. The applicant develop a noxious weed management plan and reclamation plan as part of the CUP issuance. Gravel Products Inc. is requesting the conditional use permit for a sand and gravel pit. Subject property is approximately 128.29 acres and currently within the agricultural zoning district. This sand and gravel pit had an approved conditional use permit back in 2016 with Melgard Construction that has since expired. In 2025, this pit was reopened by Gravel Products Inc. in connection with Williams County Highway Project 24-2-19, being the County Road 11 project. No permit was required for the 2025 project because, as per Chapter 3-1-1-5, Letter A of the Williams County Zoning Ordinance, it states the following activities or uses are not regulated if the maintenance or improvement of a public road, public easement, or railway track if the work is carried out by a local, state, or federal governmental agency. With this pit now going to be utilized for more than just county road project, they are required to come before the boards for approval of a conditional use permit. Per the applicant, the topsoil will be stockpiled uniformly and replaced evenly at the conclusion of the mining operations, with slopes to be smoothed as much as practicable. It is their intent to restore the property to grazable pasture at the conclusion of operations. The applicant also has a weed plan in place for this project site. Access to the subject property is off State Highway 50. When Planning and Zoning heard this on February 19th, they did recommend approval with a vote of 8-0.
Okay, is the applicant present?
Good morning. My name is Max Shriak. I'm with Gravel Products Inc. I am the prospecting manager. And we are applying for this conditional use permit because we believe there's still valuable resources here that we can utilize for other maybe county projects or state projects or possibly just private.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board?
It says you have a weed plan in place for this project. Is that like specific to the Williams County Weed Board, or you just have something written up?
We wrote a weed management plan. We have conditional use permits in other counties, and we've got a kind of a template, and we utilize a contractor for our weed management. And the contractor we've got is pretty sophisticated. He flies little drones, spraying. He can spray over the top of the stockpiles. When we strip the piles nowadays, or strip the land, we make sure that we can drive over the piles. So it's just not a rough one. You can't climb them. And so we're very concerned about the weeds. We don't need this shut down because of weeds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Comments? What are the wishes?
Make a motion to approve following staff comments.
Second.
I just have a question on that with the motion and second. With staff comments, or I mean, is the weed plan in staff comments?
It is not. No.
It is not.
No.
So
But it
it-
could be added.
yes, and that was my only question. I know since we were talking about that, and they have the weed program. Do we wish to add that to staff comments?
Yes, we would. Yeah.
Okay, and you second it. You're good. So we'll make sure we add the weed management plan to staff comments. Any other comments, questions? Roll call, Beth.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so this next one is LU-0111-25. Again, Gravel Products Inc. This one is on behalf of Kenneth Esterby and Lauren Esterby. They're requesting a conditional use permit for a sand and gravel pit within the agricultural zoning district. This particular location is in the northeast of Section 16, Township 159 North, Range 100 West, being Blue Ridge Township. We have yet to receive comment back from the township on this particular item. Gravel Products Inc. is requesting the conditional use permit for a sand and gravel pit. The subject property is approximately 160 acres and currently within the agricultural zoning district. Like the previous one, this one in 2025, the pit was operated by Gravel Products Inc. in connection with Williams County Highway Project 24-2-19. No permit was required for the 2025 project because Chapter 3-1-1-5, Letter A of the Williams County Zoning Ordinance states the following activities or uses are not regulated if the maintenance or improvement of a public road, public easement, or railway track if the work is carried out by a local, state, or federal government agency. With this pit now going to be utilized for more than county road projects, they are required to come before the boards for approval of a conditional use permit. Per the applicant, the topsoil will be stockpiled uniformly and replaced evenly at the conclusion of the mining operations, with slopes to be smooth as much as possible. It is their intent to restore the property to grazable pasture land at the conclusion of the operations. Applicant also has a weed plan in place for this project site as well. Access to the subject property is off of 82nd Street Northwest. On February 19th, when Planning and Zoning heard this item, they did recommend approval 8-0 as well.
Okay. Anything to add, Max? No, sir. Okay. Questions? Comments? What are the wishes?
I would make a motion to approve following staff comments with the addition of the weed program.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion? Roll call, Beth.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey.
Yes. Motion carried.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you. All right. County Highway.
Good morning. Tanner Shawn, County Highway. I'm here to request approval for an ordinance for imposing frost law restrictions on our roads. We have not had one in the past, so we need to get one in place. So Karen's been working on it. She may have more to add.
Yeah. So in the past, when the board has actually, when previous boards have voted on frost law restrictions, usually they've presented a list of what roads and what restrictions they're going to put on them. Well, this ordinance really actually allows, and it has to be, it was done like year by year. This ordinance sort of allows sort of like a coverall that covers this year and next year. So it doesn't have specific restrictions in there, specific roads in there, but it leaves up to county highway. And the only requirement is that they have to make sure they post it on LoadPass and then the county website. So that way, I know that there's like 6 ton, 7 ton, and there's different roads and things like that, including some of the township roads. And so this sort of gives them, the resolution complies with state law, but also gives them some room to change things really, without having to come back to the board every single year to say, these are the roads we want to restrict, these are the restrictions we want to apply.
Okay. It's, any questions?
So we need approval of the ordinance and then authorization for the chairman to sign.
Okay, what are the wishes, gentlemen?
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve this and give, or authorize you to sign.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tanner. All right. Item 2 is dispatch. Michelle, come on down. Good morning.
Good morning. Michelle Romans, the director at Dispatch. I am requesting approval to ask the 1% committee for funding for a training for roughly this fall. The training is a burnout recovery training. It would be 2 days, 4 sessions over those 2 days. So it'll be available for not just dispatch who work shift work, but the jail, sheriff's office, the PD, and all the rural fire departments. There's flexibility to have sessions in the evening, so the volunteers that have day jobs and so forth would be able to attend.
And what is the training doing?
It's about burnout, right? With any job, especially with first responders, there's a level of like stress, constant stress, being in hypervigilance all the time. With this training, it's not just education and awareness, but she like provides practical in the moment, like breathing, stretching, and ways to reduce stress, like in the moment when you're in a high stress situation. Like a lot of first responders, especially my dispatchers, where they're stuck at a desk and they can't move. So she teaches like breathing work and stuff like that. When I was a state trooper, I was able to take this training way back when. And I actually carried, like, she gives a lacrosse ball for stretching it. I carried that in my patrol vehicle, used some of her breath work. And then I was able to attend her training again in Bismarck at a conference, and she did it for just dispatchers, and it was amazing. It's not just where somebody comes in and talks to you about this is what stress is, this is, she provides practical, like in the moment strategies on how to deal with it. So not only education and awareness, but how to handle it. And it's super beneficial, and it's nice to bring training to the region. Because not everybody can travel for training. Not every department can afford to travel to Bismarck or Fargo for training, and that happens where all the training is. So it'd be nice to ask the 1% committee for funding to bring a training here to the region, so it's not just for our county, but maybe benefit the Montana side, McKenzie County, Divide County. Like we would open it to the county first, all the county staff, and then because her training's up to 200. I don't know where we'd fit 200, but it's a good training, and I think dispatch is fully staffed, and I would like to keep it that way. And burnout recovery helps with retention. So
Perfect. Thank you for the explanation. Any questions for Michelle?
sorry that was long.
No, that's just fine. That's great.
I just want to say I appreciate your investment in those that work along with you in that team. Thank you for pouring into them, caring about their training, and sustaining that staff.
Thank you.
Okay, so we would be looking for a motion to allow Michelle to take this to the 1%.
I would move to make that recommendation and approve that grant.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Lindsay, I believe you had something.
Good morning. Sorry, this wasn't originally on the agenda. I just realized this yesterday afternoon. Last meeting, you all approved the tourism grant program for this year, and that's underway. The deadline is April the 3rd. But I just need to have the tourism grant review committee appointed. In the program documents that you had approved, it just had placeholders. It didn't have names. So just kind of formalizing that. And so the The committee is typically comprised of a commissioner, Amy Kruger as the executive director of the Williston CVB, and then a community member. And so then the recommendation would be to have Commissioner Ramberg step back into his committee role, Amy Kruger, and then Katie Ogden is on the CVB board, but then is also the park manager of Lewis and Clark State Park.
Could we quickly get a motion before Commissioner Ramberg can speak?
So moved.
Is there a second? All right, that was quick. Yeah, Chris got the second. Is there any discussion? No discussion? Roll call.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry.
Yes.
Motion carried. I heard the train coming through, so
Thank you for your enthusiasm.
thanks, Lindsay. All right. Any other department heads that have anything they need to talk about? No, we should be good. All right, we're going to go down to County Administrator. Helen's not able to be here. She had some family things going on this morning. So if you'll bear with me, I'm just going to cover it for her. The position report, it looks like we have a human resource analyst that we need to fill.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Motion carried. There's also a couple of fair leases that have been presented and taken care of. So we actually have 2 more that are signed. So as everybody's working through it, I think we're getting closer and closer to getting everybody signed. So you were able to review them. One is with the Upper Missouri Valley Fair, and the other one is the retail sale of alcohol beverages out at the fairgrounds. So any questions? If there are, I'm not sure who's going to answer them. Karen can.
That fair lease for the Upper Brazilian, that's for them being able to use the lease during the fair, or being able to lease the property during the fair, and then maybe other times if they need to or whatever. And then the second lease is actually our agreement that they are going to be the exclusive seller of alcohol during events out at the fairgrounds rally, except when it's the curling club, I think, has a license around like that. So that covers like both of those. They're both with the fair association, but they sort of serve 2 different purposes, really. So, yeah. So if you have any questions,
So if you don't have any questions, if you do, we can ask her. If not, we would need a motion to approve them and authorize the chairman to sign both.
well, and just as FYI, I mean, all of the provisions in there are pretty standard across all these leases, just like the ones that you've already approved. So, yeah.
I'd move to approve and authorize chairman to sign.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion. Roll call, please.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, and seeing nothing else from the board, we are adjourned.